Hi there, this is Jen Grice from jengrice.com. I am a Christian divorce mentor, author, and boundary and empowerment coach. I help women to reclaim their life, and I empower them to have boundaries and not put up with abuse. And I want to make a side note before I get started. I get just a few emails, but then a lot of comments about that, women and men both exhibit a lot of the same behaviors that I talk about in my videos. And I totally agree with you. It's easier for me to say he as for the abuser because that's what I'm most recently used to. And I do coach women, and so I'm just in a habit of, instead of using he, she, and they, I just use he. I also have a Facebook group for Christian women who are, surviving divorce. And so I share a lot of these videos with them in the group. And again, it's just easier to use he. As a side note, I was raised by an abusive, toxic, semi-narcissistic mother. And so I know the dynamics, and I've had several close friends who were rather narcissistic. And couldn't look at their own behaviors. When I brought up one that was cheating on her husband long term, then I was attacked. So anyway, on to what we're talking about. Today we're going to talk about psychological abuse and what happens when you stand up for your rights as a human being and let your feelings known to somebody who may be betraying you or lying or cheating or any of those things. Recently I did a couple blog posts about betrayal trauma, and one of the things that I saw a lot in the comments, and as well as I have several emails, I have a pretty long list that I need to take care of for tomorrow, is that a lot of women were asking if they were crazy. They felt like they could be unstable because of things that were said to them. I often get the question asking, am I crazy? And that's a question that I had to ask myself at one point in my life. I wondered if all my feelings and things that I knew were going on were me just making up in my head, or if I had a right to feel the way I was feeling. So let me give you a scenario. And this disclaimer, this is not tied to any one person, time, or place. So a husband is caught cheating on his wife. Maybe some emails are found, or he is caught talking to another woman. Conversation is overheard, or emails are seen that explains where he's telling some other woman that he loves her. Maybe text messages have been deleted, or you're seeing things on Facebook. And then as soon as the wife brings up these things that she has found to the husband, instead of the husband saying, you're right, honey, I am so sorry for what I've done, I need to get help, I need to fix this, and this is my issue. Instead, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But instead, the husband immediately turns on the woman and attacks her. Attacks her feelings, attacks her motives, attacks her stability, says she's the liar. Keep in mind, he's been lying for some time and hiding this secret life that he has. He could be living a double life, or he's hiding his addiction to pornography or sex or whatever else it is. And then all of a sudden, if you're that wife, you're being attacked for bringing up the truth. You know it's the truth. And then all of a sudden, because he's so good at manipulating and making you believe that possibly this was all you, when he says, oh, you're just making up allegations about me, you're crazy, you're paranoid, You shouldn't be looking at my stuff. If you weren't looking, you wouldn't think these things. You should just trust me. Then he starts to dismiss your feelings. You might say, well, my feelings are really hurt that I see or heard or whatever that you love somebody else, or that you're meeting somebody else privately and not telling me, and deleting text messages. And you say, those things hurt me. Then he's discounting your feelings. You don't have a right to feel that way. My feelings are more important. Or again, with the you're crazy to ever think that or feel that. Or he doesn't even have to say those exact words, like you're crazy or you're making up allegations. He can use other phrases, and he does, to make you believe those things. He might say, he might talk sweet to you and say, oh, sweetie, you just don't even have to think that way. Why would you think that about me? And then you start to question yourself. So all of those conversations, no matter what it is, and the truth comes out that he was lying to you the entire time and trying to convince you that you were making this all up in your head, that is crazy making. That is gaslighting. That is manipulation. All of that is a form of psychological abuse to make you believe that you're crazy and unstable. And when you ask him to stop doing those things that hurt you, and he doesn't, he'll just say that you're too emotional, or you're unreasonable, or you're controlling. That's a big one. I hear that a lot. You're paranoid. Here's the thing, is that he is a master manipulator. He will use his words. He will twist your words. And he will make you believe that you are crazy. But I am here to tell you today that there are so many women that have felt that same way about themselves, only to find out that it was all him. It was all him, with the mind games and the mind control and the brainwashing and the gaslighting, which was all just psychological abuse. And then when he brings up that you have trust issues, you have to realize, of course you have trust issues. Any normal, healthy person would have trust issues. Somebody who is gaslighting them and crazy making and manipulating them to believe that they're the ones crazy when you're not doing anything wrong. What I've said something recently on my blog, I said that of course we have trust issues with people who have lying issues. That's normal. Somebody who has not been trustworthy does not get trust. Trust is built, and it's something that once you give it to somebody, if they ruin it, it's very hard to put it back together. Recently, I dropped my microwave plate on the floor, and it broke into a lot of pieces. And it's a good analogy to look at, that I couldn't just say, I'm sorry and I'll never do it again to my plate and then be put back together. No, it was broken, and it was so broken that I wasn't able to glue it back together. So I had to throw it all away and order a new microwave plate. And sometimes that happens in divorce. They're just so broken that it would hurt you more to try to pick up the pieces and put them back together, that it's just a better idea for you and your children to get a divorce. So if you're wondering, like I was and many other women out there, if you're crazy because he had done something and then told you, or some sort of abuse, because remember, adultery is abuse. If he has done some sort of abuse, emotional, physical, sexual, financial abuse, and then tries to tell you that you're the one with the problem, you probably are being gaslighted and manipulated to believe that you're crazy. But I'm here to say that you're not. You're not crazy. The games are crazy. That's what I'm going to talk about in my next video. The games that psychological abusers play. And obviously one of them is trying to make you feel crazy. So don't let him dismiss your feelings or make you feel unstable. Just know that you have been abused, and that you can be a survivor and heal. And don't forget that my book is up on Amazon. You Can Survive Divorce. It's not a lot about abuse, more just how to lean on God as you're going through your divorce and how thriving is very possible after divorce. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you have a question, or head over to my website, jengrice.com, and sign up for emails. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.